Sao bé không lòng. Dịu dàng em yên ắng một bát ánh trắng lẻ loi kể trôi theo cuộc trời ngát xa bằng hơi đầu môi sẽ bên anh nhé chẳng bao giờ quên xa lá rơi buông bề bạc hết thay lời yêu ngây dài yêu không yêu mà anh thấu hiểu dù em có là gì em chẳng có gì vẫn yêu đời gặp anh tuyên tình trong tranh trắng đành vùi mình vào trái điều này giống như ta đang phi phăng lên rồi và để gió tháng năm rồi đi không người đâu trong yêu một người từ cái nhìn đầu tiên vì hình như là anh đã yêu em trước khi mà anh biết em tên gì. Yeah, hình như em không phải là người local. Hình như em không thích đến những nơi ăn chơi xô bồ. Nhìn em kiêu kỳ như một cô gái phố cổ. Nói chung em cũng khó đoán cứ như là nước cô bố.
Chỉ mong hai ta thành đôi. Tạm biệt người yêu trong vô thức, tạm biệt tình yêu đã khiến thức ta bao nhiêu lần. Chẳng có lời nào yên bình, ước như em bên.
Rồi với giữa bao tố cuộc đời xong rồi. Hay đâu phải ta em vẫn mang bao câu ca cho biển đường xa xa xa. Yeah, anh phải về trước khi trời nắng. Yeah, không mẹ anh lại mắng. Hãy cho anh hỏi em có bao giờ yêu một người từ cái nhìn đầu tiên vậy? Hình như là anh đã yêu em trước khi mà anh biết em tên gì.
Đừng gọi tên em đi, đừng gọi tên em đi, đừng gọi tên đâu đi, mình cứ nhau đi. Em nghe hơi cũng thế rồi, giờ đây đã có người thuê rồi, mình ta nhìn thật hạnh phúc. Ước mơ của mẹ là thấy vui vẻ. I just wanna chill with you tonight, and all the sorrow left behind. Oh,
Nhớ đâu đó cuộc đời anh vẫn cứ nghe lời xin lỗi.
but it's alright, I feel peaceful
Tình
inside.
yêu ơi bình yên ơi về đây đi, để anh ơi để gió cuốn đi em đưa về nhà, để gió cuốn anh vô tình cảm.
Nếu như con người anh dễ nắm bắt và dễ chịu, bài hát này không sâu xa rất dễ nghe và dễ hiểu. Anh không có nhiều lưu ý, anh cảm thấy mình dễ chịu. Đây không phải là nhạc buồn, đây là thứ nhạc để chill.
Hai, bao nhiêu lâu chưa gặp. Năm nay 25 hay 30, 35. Dirty in the dirty as a boy, this is some. Ai nói giấc mơ đã chết khi ta qua 25.
Yeah, hình như em không phải là người local. Hình như em không thích đến những nơi ăn chơi xô bồ. Nhìn em kiêu kỳ như một cô gái phố cổ. Nói chung em cũng khó đoán cứ như là nước cô bố.
Nhưng khuya kia không ai xuống đây cho không mặn thế giới này như sương mai bay trong gian không.
Em muốn ai cho em thêm những cơ hội đâu là đâu.
Em đã fall in love với tôi vì sao?
Một người đừng nói chẳng biết dành tình yêu cho ai. Từ ngày em đến tiếng hát phút bao, chỉ có em hát bên ngập vài phút giây chúng ta giờ đã chết. Sao em sẽ ra sao? Có ra sao? Cuộc sống đây anh đã có người yêu mà anh thấu hiểu.
All the sorrow left behind. Từ lâu đã thích anh rồi, chỉ mong hai ta thành đôi.
Sao bé không làm.
Sữa rửa mặt Nivea Men tinh thể bạc hà mới, sạch sâu, mát lạnh, đánh bấy nhân.
Nói dối làm tim tan nát, nói dối làm trái tim đau. Khi đã yêu nhau trong đời, khi đã tin yêu thật sự. Nếu từ này anh bước đến, vì anh đã yêu
buy, but in this case you're buying patents. And what's cool is that if you buy the patent for a letter, anytime somebody uses that letter, you score money. And then you can use that money on your turn to buy more patents and more things. And some of them, those are special abilities as well. Yeah, both of them really solid word-based card games, and ones I would much rather play than Scrabble. Although, Scrabble is a decent game. We're starting nice here. Number 9 is a game I have a soft spot for, because at the end of the day, it's still a fun game. And that's Battleship. Now, Battleship literally is just guessing spots on a map and seeing if you hit them, which at its base level is still fun. It's very stupid and simple, but it's fun. But if you like Battleship, you should try Captain Sonar. Captain Sonar is essentially real-time 4-on-4 team Battleship. It's an incredible experience. There are 4 different positions. There's a captain who's calling out orders to the rest of the crew, which direction to go and such. There's a I don't remember the name of the exact positions, but there's a guy who is trying to map out where the other team's ship is real time with a map. Somebody's doing weapons, somebody's rearranging the engine. All 4 of you on the team are doing your own tasks while at the same time trying to stay in sync. Meanwhile, you're listening to the other team's directions and trying to track their ship, and you're trying to shoot them in real time. It's extremely tense, extremely fun, and there's this great moment in the game where at any time you can call out to try to shoot them, and it's like, pause, are you at this coordinate? And there's this dramatic pause and you're waiting, because when you score a hit on the other team, it feels so fucking good. The only disclaimer is that this one's really best 4-on-4, and it's not easy to get an 8-person board game group together all the time, especially because you need exactly 8. But if that's something that you can manage, then Captain Sonar is a wild, unique time. Number 8 is a game that is not a terrible game at its core. It's just plagued by one really bad mechanism, and that's Clue. Clue is a decent deduction game, right? You're just figuring out logically, and okay, well, if I have this card, it can't be this person, can't be this murder weapon, etc. The only thing that really damns Clue is rolling to move. Rolling a dice to move, having your turns subject to random luck based on, I rolled a 1, I'm fucked. That is very bad design. If you want a game that gives you, it's a little more complicated than Clue, but gives you the same deductive, satisfying feeling, I would recommend The Search for Planet X. This is a newer game. I actually did a review, episode 104 in my board game reviews. It's a game where you're basically trying to find the Planet X, but you're also trying to figure out the locations of different sort of celestial bodies and such throughout the galaxy. Really, really fun, and it's app run as well, which makes the game run even smoother. You can actually input guesses and commands into the app, and it does it for you. But it's a great, tricky little logic puzzle of, okay, if these ones are always adjacent to each other, and these ones are always opposite each other. So if this is here, then this has to be here. If you like that kind of Clue sort of piecing together logic, oh, this has to be this, so I can cross off this. The Search for Planet X is a very meaty, fun, deductive game. It's not too heavy again because the app does a lot of the work for you, but it's really, really fun. Now, this game replaced another game that I still will mention. This game's way heavier, only for the most serious of board game folk, and that's Alchemists. Alchemists is a great game as well. You're basically wizards or whatever trying to form potions and hypotheses or whatever, and you're trying to figure out the exact ingredient combinations of potions. And it's also an app-assisted game as well, where you're you can input your guesses and see if you're correct or whatever. However, it's a worker placement game, and it's very dense. So I would say the general suggestion is still going to be Search for Planet X, and I think I even like it better. Even though I think Alchemist is a very good game. They're just very different flavors. If you want a really dense, sort of thinky, super complex game, Alchemist is your game. If you want something that's lighter that anybody can play, I think Planet X is good, because it even has a basic mode and an advanced mode. I recommend the advanced mode, but basic mode is there if you're playing with kids, which is great. Number 7. This is gonna be a little controversial, considering it's so beloved, but Catan. I don't really like Catan very much. I appreciate that it's a lot of people's kind of like first step or foray into the, you know, quote-unquote designer board game space. I just think there are so many more fun games that do similar things, like resource gathering and whatever. And I don't like the dice rolling. But this is not an exact one. Beloved, but Catan. I don't really like Catan very much. I appreciate that it's a lot of people's kind of like first step or foray into the, you know, quote-unquote designer board game space. I just think there are so many more fun games that do similar things, like resource gathering and whatever. And I don't like the dice rolling. But this is not an exact one-to-one, but something that scratches a similar itch. Because I think I enjoy the most of the time, dice rolling, but it was like the collecting different resources, right? And trading them amongst people. And if you want a game like that that's simpler, there's a card game called Bonanza. You're basically collecting beans, and you're trying to collect groups of beans to score, but there's a lot of trading involved, and there's also this really fun mechanism of where you can't rearrange the cards in your hand, which can be very mind-fucky when you first experience it, but it's a very clever idea. It's always full of tough decisions, and the trading is very crucial. So, again, if you like Catan for the sort of, you know, trading to get exactly what you need, that sort of mechanic, I think Bonanza will be up your alley. It's a very fun, kind of light card game, but it has very critical decisions you have to make. Number 6, Cards Against Humanity. I really would be hard-pressed to be convinced to play a game of Cards Against Humanity at this point. Same thing with Apples to Apples, that sort of mechanic. Kind of light. 6, Cards Against Humanity. I really would be hard-pressed to be convinced to play a game of Cards Against Humanity at this point. Same thing with Apples to Apples. Yeah, it's overdone. If you like Cards Against Humanity, though, you may like Say Anything. In fact, I think Say Anything is way better. Say Anything is essentially Cards Against Humanity, but you have, like, questions, and then everybody can write anything. It's just marker boards. You are free to write whatever you want, and then you judge your favorite answer based off what people write. It's obviously much harder than Cards Against Humanity because you have to think of stuff instead of relying on the offensive card. Cool. Nope, you actually have to be creative and use your brain in this game. Number 5, Risk. This is a game I've got kind of a soft spot for because I had good memories of playing it growing up, but really the biggest problems with Risk are it's too long, and it's based entirely on. So the game I have to replace Risk, if you like dudes on a map fighting each other, you should try Blood Rage. Blood Rage is a fantastic sort of Viking-themed game where you're still dudes on a map, and you can get monsters involved, and you're killing each other and sending people off to Valhalla, and like you get rewarded even for death, and there's like special powers and stuff. It's great. It's still a game that offers you the same satisfaction of crushing your opponent and taking their territory, but it's not based on luck. There's card drafting where you have to go, okay, I need to take this card, but oh, I don't want my opponent to get this card, that sort of thing. And the combat is much more refined than, say, just rolling dice. And obviously the theme is fucking cool. The miniatures are great. If you want that sort of combat, grabbing each other's land, but in a much more well-designed and honestly shorter package, then you should check out Blood Rage. It's great. Now, a game I kind of just thought of that, if you like rolling tons of dice, this isn't the same thing as, let's say, conquering people's lands, because it's a co-op game, but Zombicide Black Plague, if you just like rolling dice and seeing what happens and killing lots of guys, then this is the game for you. I think Zombicide Black Plague, and in fact its sequel, Zombicide Green Horde, which I think is even better, but it's way harder, are fantastic, fun, co-op, like sort of zombie killing games where you're going around on a map, you're using your abilities and weapons to, you know, shoot zombies, stab zombies, and you got to roll like 6 dice and see how many zombies you kill. And yet there's also a lot of strategy to the game. If you like that aspect of Risk, then I think Zombicide is a great way to feel cool. Like, haha, here's my powerful weapon. Bam. Let's see how many guys I kill. Number 4, Monopoly. This is a game I also loved as a kid, but again, it's way too long. And also, it's just luck. I mean, a lot of it is luck. The real meat of the game, and it's a pretty lean game, is the trading of properties. But even then, you're just kind of waiting till people land on your shit. That's not fun. A game where you can kind of score like big for rolls, if you like that sort of like thing, or buying things and, you know, waiting for people to roll the right number. There's 2 games I'm gonna recommend. Machi Koro, which is a Japanese themed, like you're building like a coastal town, and it has fun things like, oh, if somebody rolls a 5, aha, my 5 property triggers, and I get like coins or whatever. Or there are ones that people have to pay me if they roll a 3 or whatever. You're building like a sort of tableau of numbered properties, and if you roll them, they trigger either on your turn or on their turn, or sometimes both. You're using the money to buy more properties. Trigger on more dice rolls. Space Base, I think, is the even better version